Hey guys, this is Mel, and I am back to talk about Legacies, episode 201, titled I'll Never Give Up Hope, which premiered Thursday, October 10th, 2019 on the CW. It has been so long. Well, when did we end this? We ended this in March? Wow, it's been a while. But anyways, it's October 14th that I'm recording this on. So sorry for the delay. I had a lot of things to do this weekend. That won't be the norm. It was just this weekend of all weekends, right? So anyways, huge spoiler alert before we get right into it. If you haven't watched the episode, please go do so first, and then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. I'll try to do this in 20 minutes, but otherwise my other video reminders are up on screen as well. Take a moment to remind yourselves of those as well. Another spoiler to the fact that the Vampire Diaries and the originals, I tend to talk about anything regarding the trilogy itself, so there is that. So let's start this clock, and let's begin with what happened in the premiere. So first off, the episode quote, or the title, I'll Never Give Up Hope. It was said to Landon when he was talking to the wolf form of Raphael. Again, he doesn't know that there's the whole pun in there with Hope's name, but Timeline-wise, this episode is actually pretty interesting because it does span over their summer. So the episode begins in June when the students are leaving for their summer vacation. It does span over until the end of August when the students are ready to come back to school. So it's very interesting how they were able to span those 3 months into the one episode, and just seeing the progression for all these characters of when they started their vacation to what they ended, and how they are, where they are now with certain characters as well, was pretty cool. Episode reminder is the fact that we do get kind of like a summer montage. We both get it montage, like the actual traditional montage of a bunch of video over some music, and then there's the actual montage of the fact that it is spanning over a 3-month period. So there's that. Feature creature, there wasn't really a specific creature. We do see a lot of the monsters from season 1 returning when we were in Malivore part of the storyline, but there wasn't actual creature until like the very end, like the final scene of the episode. I don't even know what that creature is, but he looks familiar to me for some reason. So hopefully I'll figure out why he looks familiar when we pick up with the next week's episode. But the breakdowns for the storylines in this episode, I picked up on 2. It's pretty much going to be like the location. First one being the Malivore pit, and the second one dealing with summer vacation as a whole, which is broken down a lot more. So with the first storyline with the Malivore pit, we do see Clark appearing to Hope inside the Malivore pit. And she finds out through Clark's actions that her presence inside Malivore is actually toxic, and it's been trying to spit her out for the duration of the summer. And every time Clark tries to grab a hold of her, it kind of doesn't want to spit him out, so Malivore kind of lets her stew in his darkness type of thing. So there's that. Second storyline, which is dealing with the summer vacation for all the students. We got Landon, who stays behind at the school, and he's trying to figure out a reversal spell for Raphael. And then he also realizes that every time he dies, he sees images of Hope. He doesn't know it's her, but he keeps seeing images of this girl. And every time he dies by forcing himself to drown. So he's hoping that every time he's that close to death, or every time he's dying, he'll get some more of an answer. And I will talk about that later on in the video, because I do have some questions about that. Second one is Lizzie. We do find out that she's in Europe with Caroline, who we don't see, but she's there getting therapy, both human and magical, because she confides in Josie at the end of the summer that she is there getting all this therapy because she wants to get better, and to permanently get better, not just for the sake of the merge, but like also she wants to do better. So there's that. Josie, she stays behind at the school because she's trying to find out more about the Ascendant. She wants to be there for her father. She just doesn't want to leave him alone. By the end of the summer, she finds out that the Ascendant is not connected to the merge, but is connected to her uncle Kai. Kai is not specifically named, but he is mentioned a lot. So there's that. And then with MG and Caleb, we do have them traveling back to Georgia to stay with Caleb's family. MG meets Caleb's sister Kim, and there's a bit of a connection, but Caleb shuts it down very quickly because it's like, you're not going after my sister type of thing. So there is that. And it looks like, or at least Caleb's uncle, from the looks of it, knows that he's a vampire. I'm not sure if his whole family knows, but at least it's not a full secret type of thing there. So there's that. And then with Alaric, we find out that he's trying to find out answers about the night of Malivore's destruction. He knows that there was someone else there with Landon, but he doesn't know who, and he knows that someone is missing due to the prints at the scene. And he's trying to figure out that mystery behind it. We also find out that he's still trying to adjust to the fact that he got voted out of the headmaster position. So that's something there. Last scene of the episode shows Malivore releasing Clark after he promised to destroy Hope as his final penance for betraying his father. And there's also someone in a red robe invoking this flaming sigil in a cemetery. Not sure if that is connected to Malivore in the release of Clark or if it's something else that's coming. So we'll have to wait and see about that. Character-wise, though, we do see the new sheriff. She's present in the bar with the Lark, and she shows her badge, but we don't get a name. We don't get anything more about her except the fact that she knows who a Lark is, and she knows that Josie, who enters the bar when she's not supposed to, is there to talk to her father, and she knows like the connection between the two there. But we don't get a name yet for her. So there's that. New character of Kim, which is Caleb's sister. We see a possible interest with MG, but there are some small... It's been alluded that Caleb has told MG about his sister Kim, and then they listed a whole bunch of things that she's done. But this will be her first appearance. And then also there's Caleb's uncle, like I mentioned before, that knows the vampire status and likes joking around about it. But again, not sure if anyone else in his family does know about it. So there's that. Tidbit-wise, though, we do see the formation of Landon and Josie's friendship turning into an official relationship by the end of the summer with their kiss in August. So there's that. And also by the end of summer, we do see Wolf Raphael wandering off. And Landon's pretty bummed out of the fact that his best friend decided not to need him anymore. But he understands the fact that the longer that he's a wolf, the longer he's going to shift into more wolf tendencies and forget his human mindset, you know? So there's that. Most shocking moment of the episode, I will have to say, is how Hope got out of Malivore. I'm a little surprised that the way they did it was the way that it happened. I will get into that in a little bit later on, but that was a surprise there. Usually there's not really much in the premieres, because that's a lot that they've been hyping up for, and that's usually all the spoilers you would get pertains to the premiere mostly. But I guess for that one, it'd have to be how Hope. I was kind of expecting Hope to take a few episodes to get back to them. Kind of similar with the whole prison world in the Vampire Diaries in season 6 for Damon and Bonnie, but that was not the case. I guess but then the whole way that they presented time both ways was different. So there's that. Moving on to top 3 favorite moments. I will say that the ending of the episode where we got Hope talking to the astral projection of Landon was pretty cute. It's just very interesting to get that dynamic between them. So I did appreciate that. It was also very interesting to get the progression of Josie and Landon. I mean, I'm all for the friendship between them for sure, but I'm still a little iffy about the fact of them being together. But I can't really fault them for being together because they both don't remember Hope and how important she is to the both of them. So it's like I can't blame them for getting together because it's not like they remember that they lost their friend or they lost the girl that they love. So it's just like, I don't know. But I did like the friendship that they were forming. And I liked how they showed that progression. Instead of having it feel rushed. It's like, oh, this episode they got together. It kind of showed, even though it was montage moments, how they did it. So there's that. Another favorite I did like was Josie and Lizzie. It just seemed like they were talking more with each other. They were being more open. They were concerned about each other and not just about themselves or more about the other one than their own. So it showed a lot of progress. Like the one sneak clip that they aired before the episode did, when they were doing astral projection calls in the bedroom with each other while Lizzie was in Europe. That in itself showed a lot of progress in how they were able to be open with each other and actually get a conversation instead of it being one-sided and everything. So that was great progress for them for sure. So there's that. And then also another favorite was just Caleb and MG hanging out and bonding and having the best summer ever and trying to do what they can. And also just Caleb keeping his promise of them being family and they're brothers now. So it's very cool to see that being followed through as well. So there's that. Now, top 3 peeved moments. I hate saying it, but I don't know if it's because it's the first episode and maybe these peeves will go away when I get more answers. But the first one I still don't like is the fact that Alark isn't headmaster anymore. I mean, who else are you going to get more invested in the school than the guy who founded it and the guy who has his own children at the school? Because if you bring some outsider into it to run the school, you don't know if they're going to have ulterior motives. You don't know if they're doing it to purposely, like, infiltrate and destroy from the inside type of thing. So it's like, if anything, Alark should maybe, like, have like to step down or have someone else like switch roles within the school temporarily or something, or still have Alaric there as like, I don't know what the VP is at a private school would be, but then bring someone else as temporary, or even call Caroline back so she could take back her co-head mistress role with Alaric, since she also founded the school too. But it was just like, there's no one else more invested in the role and in the students than Alaric, whose sole purpose of creating the school was to make a better environment for his children. So it's just like, it peeves me that they like voted him out. Like, yes, he should have told them about the backup mechanisms he had placed for the school, but it's like, it was a moment of wrong decision when he told a parent as a guy, like, this is a safety measure for your child. Instead, they use it against him. So it was like, no, he should still be headmaster. So there's that. Another peeve that I did have was the fact that Malivore wanted Hope to leave his realm of darkness when keeping her there meant she couldn't return to destroy him. Because that's the thing. They were saying that Hope's existence within Malivore is being toxic to him, and that is why he was trying to kick her out and why he's sending her back. But then at the same time, Hope also realized that the reason why her jumping into Malivore didn't destroy him was because she isn't actually a vampire. She hasn't died yet, so she hasn't triggered that part of her yet. So therefore, she's not technically an active of all three species. So it's like, if that was the case, why would Malivore spit her out and increase her chances of activating that part of her and then coming back to destroy him? If anything, I would think that he'd want to keep her inside, locked away, and with no chance of her going out to turn herself into the ultimate weapon that would kill him. I mean, like, that would just seem more of the logical thing to do. But it's just like, it feels more like Malivore as the bad guy, like giving you the keys to your own cell and it's like, yep, here you go, I don't need you anymore, type of thing. It's like, what? That's not an escape. I was hoping for like her like fighting the escape. It's kind of like with spoiler alert, Supernatural season 8 with the whole purgatory, and Dean got blasted to purgatory, which is not, it's a monster afterlife not meant for humans. Is as a human, there is a backdoor into purgatory, but for Dean to get there, he had to fight tooth and nail to survive long enough to get to that door to get him out of purgatory. I was kind of expecting something like that, or even with the prison world with season 6 of the Vampire Diaries, where Damon and Bonnie had to fight and survive against Kai to find a way to get out of his prison world. So it's just like, I was expecting something like that, not like Malivore like kind of like giving the keys to Hope to get out, and then it was just her trying to figure out why she wasn't able to. So that was a peeve right there. Another peeve I did have was the fact that within the 3 months that the episode spanned, there was no Michelson appearing whatsoever. I would assume like not even 3 months. I mean, I'm assuming that Hope still has a room back at the compound in New Orleans, which I'm assuming it's either Freya is still keeping a hold of that, Marcel is either keeping a hold of it, or Rebecca. So like one of those three. So they would have to know within the 3 months that there is some room that has all these things that doesn't belong to any of them, has pictures of them with someone that they don't even remember. Wouldn't they have questions? Once at some point in all of her belongings, wouldn't it have led them to the Salvatore boarding school? And then wouldn't that have them question, well, why do we have things from you, from a kid who apparently goes here, but you have no record of like what's going on, and yet there's nothing in those 3 months. Like, Lark is still trying to figure out who the missing piece is. So I could have, with the reputation I know of the originals have, I would have expected in less than 3 months for one of them to show up demanding answers of like, who the fuck is this kid? Why do we have things connecting not only us to her, but her to you guys, type of thing. So I was just a little pissed that we didn't get any inkling of that type of development whatsoever. So that's something there. And then the last issue I had with the episode was Hope asking the astral projection of Landon if he was happy. I mean, what was she expecting to get an honest answer? Astral projection of Landon is her own perspective and representation of Landon. It's not going to give a true answer as to whether or not he's happy or not, or whether or not what he's going to respond to her as. So it's like kind of like she was asking him kind of like in those moments, like, if you ask me to stay, I'll stay type of situation, which will work if she was talking to the actual Landon, but she's talking to her perception of him. So it's like what she knows he will know. He won't know what the real Landon knows, type of thing. So it's like, what the hell were you, like, why ask that question to begin with? Like, no. So there's that. But moving on to random questions very quickly. One huge thing I couldn't wrap my head around all summer was the fact that why was Hope forgotten by everyone? Because here's the thing. We've gotten proof in the Dryad episode, I think 105, that vampires can have their memories erased. Can't have their memories erased because that Dryad creature forgot about, or no, the vampire forgot about being in love with that Dryad creature. So we got that understanding. And then when Saga jumped into the pit, Alaric forgot about her. Landon forgot about meeting her, but he still remembers her as his mom. But Hope was the only one that still remembered everything. And because she's supposed to be the loophole, so anything that affects Malivore doesn't affect her, which makes sense as she's the one weapon that could defeat him. But then, like, I would assume that Landon would still remember because, like, because here's the thing. With this episode, we saw that every time Landon is close to death, he can kind of remember bits and pieces of Hope. It's like, okay, at least he has the memories and they're locked away and he can't access them. But what I don't understand is that since Landon is technically a descendant from Malivore, he should still be able to retain the memories associated with Malivore. With the whole thing with Saga, it kind of showed the fact that he still remembers who his mom is, but he doesn't remember ever meeting her when she jumped back into the pit. Because if you recall when Clark showed him that photo of Saga with a baby, how is Landon supposed to know that that is him with his mother Saga until he flips it around? But he knew instantly that that photo meant something to him. So he still remembers who she is to him, but he doesn't remember ever meeting her. So at least on some level, Landon's memories are kind of wonky when it comes to Malivore. But then what I don't understand, and I understand why Alaric and Dorian don't remember Hope since she jumped in the pit because they are human. I don't understand why all of the students at the school don't remember Hope to some capacity. Just because they are all vampires, which is werewolves, and because they are part of the species that are supposed to be immune to Malivore, wouldn't also his effect to erase the existence of those he's consumed would not affect those three species? I mean, we've seen that it does affect the vampires, but I would have thought otherwise because of that. So that's kind of why I'm confused there, just because of the whole, also could just because I'm hoping that they would still remember. Also, I'm hoping that Raphael, since Hope went into Malivore when he was still a wolf, I hope he still remembers her, because technically when that happened, he's a wolf and like wolf mindset and everything. So when he reverts back to being a human, I hope he does still remember Hope and everything that's happened in the first season. Because of that, I hope that's a loophole that would work in their favor, and hope that Hope is not alone when that happens. But that's another thing there. But I was just wondering what you guys thought about the whole memory wipe thing when it came to Malivore, who you thought should have been immune or not immune, or if it made sense at all to you. Let me know in the comments down below. Another question I did have was the fact, or even just a wondering as to whether or not anyone else wanted or had hoped that Wolf Raphael would have appeared to Hope when she was waiting on that bus bench. I was kind of hoping, like, maybe, like, in my head, I'm thinking that Wolf Raphael will remember Hope. He knows he needs her to get out of his spell, and I hope that once she came out, he would have felt her coming back, and that's why he kind of disappeared from Landon, and then, like, he appears on that bus bench, and then Hope sees him and is like, oh, hey, Raph. And it's like, yeah, let me undo this spell, and, like, he is human again, and Hope has someone to be with, because, not in the romantic sense, but just has someone who remembers her and who can be there for her and help her figure out what's next and how to deal with what's coming. And they could be the next duo fighting crime together. Maybe I should write that in a fanfic. But anyways, was anyone else hoping for something like that happened? I was so disappointed when the wolf didn't show up to Hope in any way, because she can't forget that she kind of left him high and dry when she told him to turn into a wolf, and only she could turn him back. Like, you know what I mean? He kind of got the short end of the stick there. So there's that. And the last question I did have was, who is the person in the red robe at the end? Obviously, we're not going to get an answer, but I'm predicting that it's the new sheriff. I mean, that will be some kind of a twist. Otherwise, I'm thinking the new headmaster we're supposed to be meeting in the next episode. But I think that would be too obvious. We kind of need a misdirect for the person in the robe. It's definitely going to be a character we've maybe been introduced to as a friendly in the early parts of the season, but then that could also be a misdirect, and it could actually be the new headmaster with ulterior motives. I'm going to trip myself over trying to figure out which one's the misdirect and which one's not, and which one's the actual misdirect. But anyways, I'll leave it at that. But predictions, let's go to that very quickly. Based off the promo for 202, I saw Hope is grieving over losing everyone who can't remember her anymore, like with Landon being with Josie. We also see Hope returning to Mystic Falls High and running into the new principal, which is Alark, and he doesn't seem to remember her at all. So it looks like Hope might be attending the regular high school. And it also kind of has to suck for Alark because he's back at the school where we originally saw him in when the Vampire Diaries first started. So there's that. But based off the synopsis for the episode, and it reads, determined to move forward with her new life alone, Hope's latest hunt leads her on a collision course with the past she's been desperately trying to leave behind. And there's a timer. Meanwhile, on the first day back in school, Landon's newfound status as the popular guy leads to tensions with Josie. Elsewhere, as MG contemplates telling Lizzie how he feels about her, the arrival of a mysterious vampire puts a wrench into his plan. Finally, as Alark gets settled into his new role at Mystic Falls High School, the students of the Salvatore School meet their new headmaster, Professor Vardamus. So that's a lot to impact there. So we're going to meet Professor Vardamus. We're going to meet the new mysterious vampire that Lizzie grows attached to. I think that's Sebastian, played by Thomas Doherty. So there's that. So it'll be very interesting to see what is next to come in the new episode, which is airing in just a few days since this recording. But I'm very excited to find out about that. But that is pretty much it, guys. So what did you guys think of that premiere? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen in the next episode or in the season 2 as a whole? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your own thoughts, theories, and predictions about all that good stuff. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog, promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place, so go check that out. I am behind, fully aware. I'm still trying to figure out this whole school work schedule thing, and video thing now. So we'll see where I can fit Tumblr into that. But also, WordPress account, link for that is down below. Anything I post online is connected to WordPress. It's a little more organized, a little more detailed, but still a work in progress once again as well. Otherwise, that is pretty much it, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back next time to see what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.